Hi guys, I hope you're all well. Today I am going to be doing another one of my 5 top must-have tips kind of videos, and it's going to be all about tips and hacks for surviving life with more than one child. It's something that I get asked quite a lot, especially on videos of kind of around the time that Jensen was first born. I had a lot of people who were pregnant, expecting their second child, that were just like, how are you doing it? Give me all the advice. I don't know how I'm going to cope. Jensen is now 13 months and Jasper is 3.5, so yeah, it's taken me a good 13 months to get into the swing of it. But yeah, the majority of the time now I'm on my own with 2 kiddies, and these are just 5 things that I found have really helped me to stay sane. So number 1 is to invest in a good baby carrier. Now when Jasper was first born and we had my stepson Reese at the weekends, we had a double pushchair. We had the Bugaboo Donkey Duo, and I absolutely loved it because I could have a double at the weekends for both the boys. I could then turn it into a single for during the week when I just had Jasper. And I kind of just assumed this time around, having Jensen, that I would have a double pushchair again. But I have not used one once. I don't know if it's because of the age difference. Jasper just doesn't like to be in a pushchair anymore, so I've only ever really needed a single. But there are always times when we're on a long walk or we're just out for a long time that Jasper's tired and he wants to get into the pushchair. And yeah, I need to either put him or normally Jensen, because Jensen's the lighter one, into a carrier. So yeah, this time around, baby wearing has absolutely saved my life. When Jensen was first born, I used a wrap. I had a few different ones and they were just easy because he was light and I could just kind of wrap him up and go out for a walk. And yeah, they were just easy. But now that he's a bit bigger, I kind of feel like I need something sturdier. So I have got the Ergo Baby 4-position 360 carrier. It's in this really cool monochrome print and I just love it. I use this so much now. 9 times out of 10 I don't even take the pushchair out with me anymore. I just put Jensen in this, Jasper will walk, and whether I've got Jensen on my front or my back, I feel secure enough that I could pick up Jasper, I could push him on the swing, you know, if he fell over I could pick him up and console him. If I had to run around after him, you know, I've got my hands free so I can still carry a bag, still hold hands with Jasper. I just feel safe, but it's also really handy for, I don't know, if Jensen falls asleep in the pushchair and Jasper gets tired, I put Jasper in here as well. You know, if both boys are playing and Jasper gets tired, I'll let him fall asleep in the pushchair, but then if Jensen wants to be carried, then he can go in the carrier, and it's just something that I always have in my car, so whether we take it out alongside the pushchair or on its own, it's just so handy. This one in particular is really good. It's nice and sturdy. It's got really padded straps. It's got a nice thick waistband. It does 4 different positions. One of them is forward facing, which is really good for Jensen because he's so nosy. And yeah, it's just a really good one to use. I know that you can still use wraps with a child of Jensen's age. You could probably still use a wrap with a child of Jasper's age. I don't know, actually, don't quote me on that, but I just don't feel safe. I feel like if I bent down to pick something up, I'd have to hold on to him. Like, I don't feel like I could be hands-free with a baby wrap at the weight that he is, but something like this is just so sturdy. And Pete used to always make fun of me saying that I look like I was going skydiving because it's like such a sturdy piece of equipment, but I like it with this print. It's nice and stylish. So yeah, that's tip number 1, invest in a good baby carrier. If you're not into baby carrying, then a buggy board is a really good idea. And if all else fails, the other day we forgot to have a carrier, I let Jasper just sit in the basket underneath the pushchair, which probably isn't the safest thing, but it did at the time. Okay, tip number 2 for having 2 children is to organise your changing bag into 2 sections for your children. So for me, I know that if the front of my bag is facing me, Jasper's side is on the left and then Jensen's side is on the right. I put their spare clothes into clothing rolls and it just makes life so much easier. I just have a spare pair of trousers, a spare vest or t-shirt for Jasper, socks, roll them up, and then if Jasper has an accident, Jensen gets mucky, I just grab out a roll. So the rolls go in the bag, they divide the bag into 2 sides, and anything on either side of those belongs to each child. So Jasper's snacks and his water bottle will be on the left hand side, Jensen's nappies and nappy bags and his snacks and his bottles be on the right hand side, and it just makes it easier as well because if I'm dealing with, I don't know, a poo explosion or something like that, I can just quickly say to someone, oh, can you grab Jasper's stuff, his is on the left. It just makes life a lot easier. Okay, tip number 3 is to label your children's clothing. It makes it so much easier if they're at preschool, nursery, childminders, and also when you're doing your laundry, because even though I know at a glance which clothes are Jasper's and which are Jensen's, a lot of Jasper's stuff that he's grown out of, Jensen's now growing into, and I get a bit confused. So I label a lot of their clothes. I got these. These ones are from a company called Stuck On You. These are from a company called Tiny Me, who I think these were given away free. if your child begins with the letter of the day and it happened to be J, the day that I went on it. So I've got iron-on ones that I put on their clothes. I've also got sticky ones that I put on their water bottles and Jensen's dummies. But if you don't fancy doing this, something I saw online the other day and I just thought it's such a good idea, is just to put dots in permanent pen on their labels. So 1 dot for your firstborn child, 2 dots for your second-born child, and then when your firstborn child's clothes get too small and your second-born child starts wearing them, then just add another dot and it's 2 dots for them. And if you have another child, then you can put 3 dots. And yeah, it just makes it easier for things like sorting laundry. Not so good for when they're in childcare, but yeah, a good one for laundry. And obviously, if you have different genders, then chances are you're going to have pink clothes and blue clothes or that kind of thing, so you probably won't need it as much, but for someone like me who has all boys, it makes life a lot easier. Right, number 3, and this is something that I've only seen recently. It was shared on Facebook and straight away I just thought that is what I've been needing, and it has worked. It really does work, and that is to have on your car a safety splat. So it's basically a hand-shaped sticker on the side of your car. So if you're kind of unloading the car, you're getting your baby in and out of the car and you don't want your child to run off, have this hand sticker there and they have to put their hand on it. Obviously there's no like magical way of making them do it. They could easily take their hand off, but you know, I just explained it to Jasper, this is where you have to keep your hand. It's the magic safety splat, and if you take it away, then you know the magic won't work anymore, and or you could tell them that it's like magnetized, or if they take the hand off of it then they're not going into the shop or to soft play. Usually I would try and get Jensen out first, like get the pushchair out, get Jensen out, put him in the pushchair safely, then get Jasper out. But if there is an occasion where Jasper's kind of kicking off and he just wants to get out of the car, then I always make sure he has his hand on the safety splat. I don't actually have the hand sticker yet, so I just have the same place on the car that I just tell him that is the place. I think I am going to get one of the stickers. It's just from Amazon, but I do the same now for the pushchair, the trolley if we go food shopping and he doesn't want to sit in the trolley, and it really works, and it just makes me feel a bit more confident that he's not going to run off and get lost or hurt or something while I'm getting my shopping and Jensen in and out of the car. Okay, tip number 5, and I feel like this is a little bit of a cop-out because I only really had 4, but I normally do my top 5 must-haves and top 5 tips, so I thought I have to give another one, and that's just to be more organised. I know that's a bit of an obvious one, but things like packing your bag the night before, laying like school bag, shoes, coat, wellies, whatever, out by the front door the night before, you know, having a breakfast station. I've done a lot of tips on how to have like a smoother morning when you're getting your kids out of the door. So things like that, planning where you're going. If you know that soft play is going to be busy, then take a packed lunch, you know, that kind of thing. Just don't get caught short. Make sure that you've got spare things in your car. I always have nappies, wipes, maybe a couple of spare cereal bars and stuff in the car just in case. Just try and plan ahead because it's hard enough to get out of the house with 1 child, let alone having 2. Well, that's it. Those are my top 5 tips for surviving life with more than 1 child. I hope you found them useful. If you did, please do give this a big fat thumbs up. Comment below, let me know what your tips are, especially if you've got more than 2 children. If you've got 3, 4, 5, let me know the tips because I would love to know, not that I'm expecting any more children. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye!